Good morning and welcome to a Street Speed 717, where today my question to all of you is, what kind of car do you take to court? There may be cops there, so I really shouldn't take my Corvette with the tinted license plate cover and no inspection stickers, and I definitely shouldn't take the Duramax, which is illegal in about 100 different ways. Could take the Mini Cooper, that is pretty sure, yeah, that's 100% legal. I don't feel like taking the Mini though, honestly, so I think that I'm just gonna take the truck. Whoops, I forgot my keys. So you guys might remember this from the vlog about, I want to say like 2 months ago. In that video, of course, I was dropping off my summons to which I pled not guilty to, and I said that I would update you guys with information when I could. Well, fast forward to now, and my court date has finally come, and I thought it would be fun to bring you guys along because as of right now, of course, I'm on my way there, and I have no idea what the outcome of my trial is going to be. I was actually charged with reckless driving, and in case you don't know, reckless driving carries a minimum penalty of getting your license suspended for 6 months, along with a hefty fine. I think it's $500 or $600. I definitely do not want that to happen. So if I get back in the truck after court and I'm in a good mood, then you'll know that everything went well. And if things don't go the way I'm hoping they go and the way I'm thinking they're gonna go, then I will be in probably, definitely, the worst mood you have ever seen me be in on YouTube. Wish me luck. With that, we are here. Now, sadly, I cannot record in the courtroom, so I will meet up with you guys again shortly. Hopefully shortly. All right. We're good. I wish I had a great story to tell you, but really, this is just, it's so stupid. It's not like I got caught doing something fun, like going 200 miles an hour. You know how when they're doing road construction, how they have cones set up for however long? Well, I took my Corvette and I went in and out of the cones like a slalom test, and really the lady behind me, who's a real great human being, by the way, I had the pleasure of meeting her in court, she found it necessary to call the cops on me. Long story short, I did not get reckless driving. I got something a lot less severe. Ended up being something along the lines of a failure to stay in your lane or something like that. Was it a silly thing to do? Yeah, definitely. Was anyone in any danger at any point throughout the entire incident? Absolutely not. And I've had what I would call an overwhelmingly positive experience with the police in my lifetime. And I've been pulled over more than once, let's just say that. And even when I fully expect to get a ticket, a good example of that is when I first got the headers put on my Corvette, and I took my buddy out for a ride, and we were doing some hard pulls through second and third gear. So, you know, you could see that we were doing probably 9 to 10 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone, and apparently I had passed that police officer. So she gets behind me and pulls me over, and at this point, you know, I was fully expecting, at that point, I was expecting to get the reckless driving charge, not now. But I was fully expecting a bad ticket, and I was still nice and polite and respectful because, number one, if you're going to drive like that, you know, you got to take responsibility. But number two, not just because they're police officers or because, you know, I'm hoping to get a warning, but because I just want to be a decent human being. I ended up getting lucky and I didn't get a ticket, but even in the times in my life where I have gotten a ticket, you know, it's always been a decent experience. You know, I've never had a cop be, you know, rude or anything to me, and I really can't complain. This time, however, this guy really, for whatever reason, just did not seem to like me. And between him and the nut job witness, who, I mean, she was a real nutcase, they really kind of made it their personal mission to ruin my day. But anyway, enough of that negativity. You know, it worked out for me. I really shouldn't complain. So let's just go ahead and move on. And move on we will to the video from like 2 days ago where I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Number one, people were saying, you know, what happened to the girlfriend's car? Everything is fine. For reasons I can't get into, this car has to be in the garage for right now. Again, we're gonna talk more about that later on. Second thing was, a lot of people were saying from 6 minutes and 37 seconds in the video to 6 minutes and 39 seconds in the video, people were saying that they caught a glimpse, a sneak peek of the Corvette wrap on the computer screen. And this is not to say like, oh, you're wrong. I'm just saying so people are not misled. That was not my car on the screen. You guys saw the reaction from me when I first saw the rendering of my car. That was for the car that's being wrapped, which you're gonna see later on in this video. And the last thing I wanna talk about, when I was installing the headlights on the Mini Cooper, a lot of people were saying, you know, you should not touch the bulbs with your fingers. To be honest with you, I had completely forgot about that, so hopefully my new light bulbs do not explode. With that being said, we have a busy rest of our day planned, so let's go ahead and meet up with Shane. This wrap looks amazing, dude. So this is the difference. It's printed on clear, right?
Sure.
Look at that metallic. Hell yeah, these are the colors, by the way, of the flag for the UAE. And those are his initials. Oh, he's got, I did not know this about this car, but he has the suede inserts on the seats and on the steering wheel and on the gear shift. Pretty much the only regret I have with my car is not getting the competition seats. These are not the competition seats, these are the same that I have, but I would have loved to have had them, the suede inserts, and then when you do that, you automatically get the suede gear shift and the suede steering wheel. God, I do really wish I had that.
It's brutal, bro.
Is it? Yeah, it does look a little bit thick. On a scale of 1 to brain surgery, how meticulous is your job, Shane?
Oh my God. Off the Richter.
This E06 is making similar power to mine, I think actually a little bit more. He has a meth kit, and it's right in there. You can see all the piping and whatnot to make that work. Same intake as me, ported throttle body, ported supercharger. Smaller pulley, same 2.31 pulley. Basically the same build as my car with the exception of he did not go for E85 because they do not have it where he lives, in the country that he lives, so he went with meth injection instead.
Oregon County.
Yeah.
Hey, who said something? Like,
Dude, everybody in the comments was saying something.
family.
Dude, they loved it. Look who showed up.
What's up, motherfucker?
Hey, but Andy, dude, I got a bone to pick with you. Why'd you hit my truck when you parked?
This shit's a piece of crap.
Look, now clearly you parked and hit my truck.
I'll back mine up. We can go over it.
I was like, Curtis, get out and direct me so I can park and just touch him ever so gently. No, I was gonna blame him for it.
I want them step side bumpers.
Oh,
the new bumpers with
the step in it? Yeah, that'd be really dope.
Dude, I fucking want one of those so bad.
I'm sure you can get a custom made
Yeah, you
one.
see my tailgate?
Fuck yeah, brand new, no rust.
Non-rusted tailgate, man.
Hell yeah, bro, that looks
Shit's
good.
fucking titties looking.
Dirty Matt, dude, I just love your fucking tires, man. There's so much beef right here. Still
thinking about
caked
it.
with mud. Didn't you power wash this thing
I
since you?
did. There's still like a big clump of mud underneath.
Look
the
at my
front.
mine's all nice and clean now, of course.
Not mine, dude.
Yeah.
Not mine. I was thinking about doing a 6-inch lift, and I was like,
Man, that's gonna be
nah,
high.
might be too much because yours is 6-inch, right?
Yep.
I was thinking about doing 4
4, I think
because
would
I
be good.
still want to tow with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't
I don't
go-
want to take away from the towing capability of it. So
I wouldn't go with 6 if you want to tow. I'd go. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen big trucks tow still though, but
I mean, yours is nice, but I mean, I would not want to tow with your truck. Dude, there's no fucking way, man. Like you'd have to have such a drop hitch on it.
yeah, then you got to
It'd
get
be
into the
funny.
whole drop hitch thing. And
Yeah, and then it's swaying all over the place and crap. I'm not all about that life.
what kind of tires would you get then?
I'll probably stick with those. I think a 4-inch lift they're like almost a 33.
Okay.
So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be fine. I did see a truck that had 33 on it with a 6-inch lift, and it was just like yours, but a smaller tire.
And
I
only
saw.
33s.
And it had 30, and it
That
didn't
would-
look. It didn't look bad.
It didn't look bad. I feel like that
You're gonna
looks
get ran
so
over,
small.
man.
Today I'm going to be shooting a time lapse for Shane. I'm going to be showing him the ropes on how to use a GoPro and whatnot, because you are about to what, Shane? Start up a what?
YouTube channel.
So if you guys want to see the behind the scenes of what it takes to wrap a car, what the process is, not just with vinyl, but Expel, everything that Shane does, he will be filming it. Check out his channel. I will put a link in the description below. And now let's go ahead and film this time lapse.
With no pine parts on it.
GoPro battery died. but I think Shane got enough footage. He is almost done wrapping that car, but he's not quite finished yet. But when he is done, I will be sure to show you guys what it looks like. Gonna do a little Q&A here to end the video, and I was actually thinking about driving the car, maybe go out and do something fun with it, but look at this. Oh yes, the first official snow. Actually, I wouldn't even really call it snow. It's more like just ice, you know, like it's just ice. But either way, it fucking sucks. So obviously, I'm not going to be driving the Corvette today. We're going to do a little Q&A instead, and if you would like to participate in the next Q&A, feel free to follow me at StreetSpeed717 on Instagram, spelled exactly the same as the YouTube channel. I like to post a picture and tell people to ask their questions below, and I always get a great response. So far, we've got 517 comments in a little over an hour. So anyway, let's get to it. So here we go. I had to turn the car on because it is really fucking cold. But the first question, CW Wheel Z24, how far will you travel for a car show in the spring? And I previously said that I wouldn't want to drive past like North Carolina, but I recently took this car to Florida and it was actually a nice trip. It was long, don't get me wrong, 14 hours or so. But maybe I would drive far. I mean, if I was going to be there for something else, if it's only a car show, I feel like I would drive about 100 miles and that's it. I don't even like going to Cars and Coffee Lehigh Valley because it's so far away. I mean, I like going, but I don't like to drive there because it's like an hour and a half and I got to get up at like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning sometimes if you want to get there with good parking and everything. So I feel like 100 miles for just a car show, about 100 miles would be my limit. Are you going to, lowered 04 Chevy, you going to buy a new truck later on? I am probably going to get a new truck at some point, but not a replacement for the Duramax because, I mean, this thing is still just an absolute monster. It runs great. In the year that I've had it, I put it through a lot, right? Modifications, the lift, big tires, all this shit that I've done to it, taking it to the drag strip, off-road, never had a single problem. Not even the slightest of issues. The only thing that ever went wrong was I had a taillight go out. So, you know, this Duramax is going to last for a very long time. And even when I get a new truck, I want to make this very clear, I'm not going to be selling this one. I'm going to be keeping this baby forever. Duramax, I don't know. Any plans of putting a light bar on? Yes, I'm going to be integrating a light bar into my front bumper for the Duramax, and I'm working with a small company right now and speccing out a build for the front bumper. I want to get that done before Motorama in February, so we are going to be doing that soon. Jeremiah Stanley 72, are you adding more power to the Corvette, like maybe 800 wheel instead of 700? Like I said a couple times, I want to get drag radials on the car and see where I'm at. And then once I know, I want to get into the 9s. That's my goal. That's all I want to do is get into the 9s and drag racing, which is going to be tough because I got a manual transmission, so it's going to rely a lot on me, on the driver as well, not just the car. So that's going to be tough. But if I can get into the 9s with the power I have, then I'm not going to go for any more because that's all I want to do. Julian 0816, what kind of shoes do you like besides Jordans and Nikes? Well, honestly, if I'm not wearing shoes, I'm wearing my boots, and if I'm not wearing my boots, I'm wearing my Nikes. So really, that's about it. Connor Toth, if you had to buy a JDM Rice car, what would it be? That would be a tough one. I'd probably say the GTR. Not that that's Rice, but I'm just saying a JDM car. It'd probably be a GTR. Baby Blue XJ, do you have an Xbox? I do. I have a 360. I might get myself an Xbox One for Christmas as a present. But I don't know. My problem is I used to play Xbox all the time. Like I used to have days played on Call of Duty. I was a real winner back in high school. But you know, I don't think now I have the time to even play Xbox. So I don't know. Might get an Xbox One, but probably not, honestly. No to say 02, lifted or lowered? Obviously lifted, and my cars aren't even lowered. So I'm about the truck thing when it comes to adjusting the height of my vehicle. How old are your dogs? They are 7 years old, both of them. They're brother and sister, so they are the same age, of course. When are you getting the spoiler? Okay, so the spoiler on the Z06, I really like the look of that wing, but I don't like the fact that my trunk is gonna fall down if I open it, and the reason why I decided to hold off on the wing was for that reason, but also because I'm not sure about this new ZR1 yet. I want to see more information about this car before I sell it, because right now, currently, I can put my car back to stock and retain its value and sell it. I mean, I could try to find a buyer who wants it to be modified, but it's just going to be easier for me if I put it back to stock and sell it that way, or trade it in even. But you know, with modifying my trunk like that, it really kind of not ruins the car, because I would still like it, but that pretty much, that's something I can't change. Like, I have to drill through my hood, and not everybody wants a Corvette, or not my hood, my trunk, and not everybody wants a Corvette with a massive wing on it. So that's why I'm holding off on that. If the ZR1, if I find out more information about that car pretty soon, and I decide that, you know, I'm just going to keep this, and I'll go ahead and do that. But I do want to get some more information on that first. I'm just trying to have it make financial sense for me. That's all I'm trying to do. Matthew Cunningham, do you hunt? I do not. I shoot, but I don't hunt. Again, that's something like I have to go pretty far for that, and I've never really been, I don't know, I've just never really been into hunting at all. Colin J. White, going to Carlisle next year, of course. GM Nationals, probably Ford Nationals, Corvettes of Carlisle, maybe the import show. Carlisle events, they're just awesome. I always like to go to them. IE Tax, in any way do you wish you chose a GT350 or a 350R over the Z06? I do not. And another question was similar to that. It was, would you ever get a GT350 after the Z06? And I'm going to address both of those questions here. And, you know, the 350 is a great car. It's fun to drive. But after having this, even the 350R, I mean, this thing will run rings around those cars, not only in a straight line, but also on a track. And, you know, to me, the Corvette looks better. It's like, it has a cooler design. It's 2 seats. You know, it doesn't have back, of course the 350R doesn't have back seats either, but, you know, and this car is a little bit more special, I think, than a Mustang 350, even though the 350R is way more rare than a Z06. Don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying. But you see a Corvette, and it's just like, I don't know, I just think it's a little bit cooler than a Mustang, even if it's a really cool Mustang. So I don't think, I mean, if I had gotten a 350R, that would have been great. Unfortunately, they were way too expensive for what it is. It's just not worth $100 grand for that thing. There's no way I could justify paying $25,000 more for a 350R than I paid for this. And after having this, there's no way I could go back to a car that has so much less power. Sims with the Shoddy, you should plan a trip to Palm Beach International Raceway. This is one of those things. Also, I had a question on here. I'll address both of these as well. Somebody said, would you ever, something about not the pussy straight line shit, would you ever take the Z06 to a road course? And I would love to do that. The problem is, I mean, the nearest drag strip for me is like an hour away, and the nearest road course is up in the Poconos, and that's about 2.5 hours. So, you know, like if I don't take my car to the strip or to a racetrack or take my truck off-roading, it's not because I don't want to do this shit. It's just because it's really fucking inconvenient for me to do it. But I would love to plan a trip. What I really want to do is get myself, Nick, and Troy together, go down for a weekend at VIR and make a little video, like a third gear episode out of that. I think that would be great. I'd love to take the Z06 to a road course rather. But, you know, it's really not convenient for me to do so. But it will happen at some point. What do you think of the new 2017 F250? I really like the, you know, everybody, when a new car comes out, like when the new F-150s came out, I had so many people say, oh, it's so ugly. But you got to withhold judgment. People don't really think it's ugly. It's just new, so they want to make a quick judgment on it. I personally really like the look of the new F-150s. And the new Power Stroke, I think, doesn't the new Power Stroke have 975 pound-feet of torque, or 925? I mean, that's nuts. You can get that in just a production truck right off of the, right out of the factory. That's incredible. So definitely a cool car. On that same subject, Denton Mincy, what do you think about the new Ford Raptors? I like them a lot. Again, I love the look. The Raptor's going to be one hell of a truck. But I don't like the V6 thing. I know that it's kind of like beating a dead horse. It's like, yes, you know, everybody likes V8s, but this is the future. Twin turbocharged or turbocharged V6s, especially with Ford, they're very good at it. So it's going to be a good engine. It's going to be a good truck, no doubt about it. But I will miss the V8, that's for sure. Are you going to lift the Mini? And if you are you going to run 35s or 37s? You're going to find out shortly. Thomas Everson, why the Dirty Max and not a Power Stroke or a Cummins? Well, I actually made a video about that, and I will put that in the description below so you can hear a much more in-depth response. Are you going to wrap the whole Cooper? I am not. This is the only vinyl wrap I'm going to do on the car for now, but more on the Cooper. Again, more will be coming soon. I hate to just keep saying that, but I promise it will be worth it. You got to trust me, like I keep saying. You just got to trust me. Hunter Allen, 44, want to sell me your Dirty Max for $1 million? I will sell you the Dirty Max. Favorite firearm? That is a tough one. I love the Colt M1911. My grandfather carried that through D-Day in World War II, so I kind of have a special connection to that gun, and I love the Colt 45. My favorite modern gun, though, they still make those Colt 45s, but my favorite more modern assault rifle would be a Scar. The FN Scar is just such a cool looking gun. What made you become a car and truck enthusiast? That is from I Just Wanna Weld. Honestly, when I was a kid, I don't really know, because my family isn't necessarily into cars. My brother is, who has a 911, by the way. He's in the military stationed at Fort Bragg. Well, he's actually deployed right now, but he has a new 2015 911. So he's into cars, but the rest of my family really isn't. But as a kid, I just remember having a whole bin of Hot Wheels cars, the bigger model cars, and all that stuff. So I've just loved cars ever since I was a little kid, and like I say, I haven't really grown up. My toys just got a lot more expensive. That's all that really happened. What was your favorite vehicle you have owned? Definitely the Duramax. I mean, I loved my 92. Of the cars I've owned, the only one I really miss is my 1992 Chevy Short Box. I loved that truck, and I miss it. I wish I would have kept it. Back then, when I sold it, I got $3,200 for it, and I paid like $1,500 for it. And back then, I was like 17 or 18 years old, and that was a lot of money to me. But looking back now, had I known that this was going to happen, like looking back now, I wish I would have just kept it, because $3,200 is like, a drop in the bucket. But my favorite vehicle though now is definitely the Duramax. I love that thing, and it probably has to take the place of my favorite vehicle that I have ever owned. Last but not least, Alex Witt 223. When was your most recent trip to Mexico? Well, my most recent trip to Mexico was legitimate, as many of you probably know, and I went to Cozumel. Beautiful, just the standard tourist location when you go on a cruise, but beautiful place. I went scuba diving, fantastic, and then I came home to this shitty weather. So Mexico, beautiful country. I hope to go there again sometime very soon, but this time with the Corvette. So that is going to do it for the Q&A. As always, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care and have a great day.